Hello everyone, this is your junior high school math teacher, and in our Mathematics 9 topics, I'll discuss the third week lesson number 1 about illustrates angle of elevation and angle of depression. After you watch this video, you should be able to illustrate angle of elevation and angle of depression, and you should be able to solve related word problems, particularly about right triangles. Now in this material, you would be able to apply the principles of solving right triangles in solving problems related to angle of elevation and angle of depression. You shall be able to illustrate these two types of angles which are very important or essential in solving word problems. Okay. Trigonometry is very useful in solving problems in navigation, surveying, astronomy, and measuring distances. Some terminologies used in the application of right triangle trigonometry are the so-called line of sight, which is being described or defined as the line from the eyes of the observer to the object being observed. And then we have now uh, the one that we are going to discuss for this in this video, which is the angle of elevation. Okay, so such angle is an acute angle which is formed by a horizontal line and an observer's line of sight to any object above the horizontal. Now suppose we have this eye of the observer, and from its eyes we have this line of sight, and the object being observed. And together with this line of sight, we have the horizontal. And together, these two lines form an angle, which is known as the angle of elevation. Okay? So again, angle of elevation is defined as an acute angle which is formed by a horizontal line, and an observer's line of sight to any object wherein the object is above the horizontal. Next. Similarly, if we have the angle of elevation, we also have this angle, which is the angle of depression, defined as the acute angle which is formed by the horizontal line and an observer's line of sight. This time, the object being observed is below the horizontal. Okay? Again, for the definition of angle of depression, it is the acute angle which is formed by a horizontal and an observer's line of sight to any object below the horizontal. So if we're going to illustrate this angle of depression, we have again the eye of the observer, but this time the line of sight is going down, staring at the object, and this object being observed is below the horizontal, which is this one. And together these two lines form an angle. And this time, the angle is known as the angle of depression. At this point, let us test your comprehension regarding this topic. I'm going to present you an activity. So we go to the next slide. And this is the first activity, and you are going to describe each angle as it relates to the given diagram. So I'll be giving you enough time to figure out what angle is being described from this figure. What are these angles? So I might as well ask everyone to prepare a 1/2 lengthwise sheet of paper and number it from 1 to 10. And looking at this presentation, you will be asked to describe each of those angles being labeled by small letters from this drawing. Okay? Next one. We have these two. Next. I think this is the last diagram or illustration for the last 4 items. So all in all, we have 10 items. Okay, I think everyone is done answering this activity. So it's time now to reveal the answers. Okay, I think everyone is ready. Okay, for our first 4 items, number 1, angle small letter A is what? Angle of depression. Number 2, angle small letter B is what? Angle of elevation. Number 3, for angle small letter C, it's angle of depression. And number 4, letter D, it's the angle of elevation. Okay? Next. For number 5 and 6, we have 2 labeled angles here. The one which is labeled as angle small letter E and the other one is angle small letter F. Now for number 5, angle labeled by small letter E is an angle of depression, and angle small letter F is your angle of elevation. Next. For our last 4 items, number 7, the one labeled as angle small letter G, is what? Angle of depression. Number 8, an angle labeled as angle small letter H rather, it's angle of elevation. And number 9, angle labeled by small letter I is angle of depression. And finally, the angle labeled by small letter G is your angle of elevation.